have told. I've told Papoose. I told them, why don't you tell this stuff? Why don't you tell,
Things have just become even more interesting because new screenshots are starting to circulate online, and they are raising a lot of questions about the timeline. According to several messages that people claim came from Claressa, she was already talking about wanting to start trying for a baby right after her last fight ended. If those conversations are real, they change how many people are looking at the situation right now. When you actually line up the dates and look at the timeline, the timing begins to make a lot more sense. After that fight wrapped up, she reportedly said she was ready to focus on starting a family. Now, fast forward to today, and people online are connecting the dots. That is exactly why the internet is buzzing so loudly. Some fans believe the timeline explains everything, while others think there are still too many missing pieces. Either way, the conversation surrounding this situation has become much louder. The deeper people dig, the more unexpected details begin to surface. Fans are now revisiting old interviews, social media posts, and alleged private messages, trying to figure out what may have happened behind the scenes. Every new screenshot seems to raise another question rather than provide a clear answer. For now, people are watching closely, waiting to see whether more evidence appears or if someone involved finally decides to speak out.
if they knew the truth? Like, literally cry. Like, cry.
It now appears that Remy Ma's mother has completely stepped away from whatever drama remains between her daughter and Pap. Sources even say she has been laughing at the rumors surrounding Claressa Shields' alleged pregnancy. At first, many people dismissed the talk as just another internet rumor. However, the situation began to feel different when insiders from Claressa's recent training camp quietly started speaking behind the scenes. According to those present during the sessions, the atmosphere in the gym has noticeably shifted. Some even claim she might pull out of her upcoming fight. If Claressa truly is expecting, questions about the father continue to fuel speculation online.
Before I go to bed, let me clear this up. My last video was questioning whether Claressa Shields was pregnant or not. All the signs were there. Belly bloated. I get it. Women go through monthly things. Women have happy weight when they're in happy relationships. I stated all that. I stated that it could be. I mean, Papoose pointing at her belly, her talking about, I got such a huge announcement, guys. I'm gonna need you to get balloons and champagne. Come on now. Who wouldn't think?
No one knows exactly how it happened, but the rumor spread incredibly fast. It all started after Remy dropped one cold line that immediately caught everyone's attention online. Since then, speculation has taken over social media, and many people believe that if the real truth ever comes out, it would shock everyone.
Next year. We already have it planned out. I'm gonna have a baby next year, and then after I go through my stuff, then I'll come back and fight some more, and then probably have another one, and then do the same thing again. Like, I don't want to wait till I'm 40, 43, whatever, after my career to have my kids.
When the wife, and let's be clear, Remy Ma is still legally married to Papoose, drops a comment like that while the woman on the side is suddenly surrounded by pregnancy rumors, people start paying attention. Statements like that rarely come out of nowhere. It doesn't sound like casual shade. It sounds like someone speaking with information the public hasn't heard yet. That's exactly why the internet immediately locked in on the situation. But even before Remy began making those slick remarks, Claressa had already been open about what she wanted. For more than a year, she had publicly talked about the idea of having a baby with Papoose. This wasn't some emotional impulse or a random comment made in the moment. It was something she mentioned repeatedly, almost like it was part of a long-term plan. That is what makes the timeline even more interesting now. Last year, Claressa herself revealed that she and Papoose were hoping to welcome a baby in 2025. She didn't keep it vague either. She practically set the timeline herself. Once people began revisiting those old interviews, the situation started to look very different. Suddenly, the rumors no longer felt random. Instead, they started to sound like a story that may have been unfolding quietly behind the scenes for much longer than anyone realized.
I asked you nothing. You know how much I cook for this man?
When the wife, and let's be clear, Remy Ma is still legally married to Papoose, throws a comment like that while the woman on the side is suddenly surrounded by pregnancy rumors, people notice. Statements like that rarely come out of nowhere. That's not casual shade. That sounds like someone speaking with information the public hasn't yet heard. That's exactly why the internet immediately started paying attention. Even before Remy made those slick remarks, Claressa had already been very open about what she wanted. For more than a year, she had publicly talked about having a baby with Papoose. This wasn't an emotional impulse or a random statement. It was something she repeated often, like part of a long-term plan. That is what makes the timeline even more interesting. Last year, Claressa revealed that she and Papoose were aiming to welcome a baby in 2025. She didn't leave it vague. She practically set the schedule herself. Once people revisited those old interviews, the situation began to look very different. Suddenly, the rumors didn't feel random anymore. Instead, they started sounding like a story quietly unfolding behind the scenes for much longer than anyone realized.
Why don't you tell your current come up? 'Cause that's what it is. Tell your current come up. Don't say nothing about me. Maybe not even say nothing about you until shit is what it is. I'm in here on my TV.
That single word carries serious weight. When someone says come up, it implies that another person is benefiting from a situation, using it as a stepping stone to elevate themselves. That's why Remy's comment instantly got people talking. Is she accusing Claressa of leveraging Papoose for attention, or hinting that Claressa doesn't know the full story? Either way, the implication is serious. Critics argue that if Claressa truly felt secure, she wouldn't constantly defend the relationship online. Yet posts keep appearing, proving their bond, even firing back at critics. Instead of quieting the chatter, it only fuels the debate.
Whenever I feel like saying Papoose name, I'm going to say his name. Quiet. Yep. Take a picture, a video, I'm going to do it. Papoose. Papoose, be hitting this Papoose. So mad, that man is happy.
The energy in that moment felt incredibly territorial. It carried that I know my man behind closed doors vibe, the kind of message meant to remind everyone that she believes the relationship is solid. When someone shares intimate everyday details publicly, many interpret it as planting a flag, a quiet way of saying, this is mine. But that's where things start to get complicated. If Claressa truly feels secure, why does Remy's presence still carry so much weight in the narrative? Every time Claressa mentions babies or hints at a future, Remy doesn't respond with loud arguments or emotional outbursts. Instead, she drops calculated, subtle flexes that grab attention. Recently, Claressa proudly showed off a Van Cleef bracelet Papoose gifted her, presenting it as proof of their bond. Not long after, Remy appeared online wearing multiple stacked Van Cleef bracelets of her own. The message was clear: some connections and history run deeper than what's currently visible. This wasn't just random jewelry, it was silent competition. You got one, I got stacks. While Claressa promises babies, Remy promises truth. To add another layer, Papoose openly celebrated Claressa for securing that $8 million deal and publicly stated he loves her to death, further intensifying the unfolding dynamics.
We want you to know that we in full support. Well, I'm definitely in full support because I love you to death. Let me say it again in case they didn't hear me. I love you to death more than anything. But look, congratulations, Win Records, Claressa the Quote Shields. Let's go, baby. $8 million new deal.
The energy in that moment felt incredibly territorial. It carried that I know my man behind closed doors vibe, the kind of message meant to remind everyone that she believes the relationship is solid. When someone shares intimate everyday details publicly, many interpret it as planting a flag, a quiet way of saying, this is mine. But that's where things start to get complicated. If Claressa truly feels secure, why does Remy's presence still carry so much weight in the narrative? Every time Claressa mentions babies or hints at a future, Remy doesn't respond with loud arguments or emotional outbursts. Instead, she drops calculated, subtle flexes that grab attention. Recently, Claressa proudly showed off a Van Cleef bracelet Papoose gifted her, presenting it as proof of their bond. Not long after, Remy appeared online wearing multiple stacked Van Cleef bracelets of her own. The message was clear. Some connections and history run deeper than what's currently visible. This wasn't just random jewelry, it was silent competition. You got one, I got stacks. While Claressa promises babies, Remy promises truth. To add another layer, Papoose openly celebrated Claressa for securing that $8 million deal and publicly stated he loves her to death, further intensifying the unfolding dynamics. And this is where the situation explodes beyond mere relationship gossip. Papoose is loud and visible about Claressa, yet the legal documents still list Remy Ma as his wife. That contradiction alone has the internet spinning. Fans are completely divided. One side believes Claressa is simply building the life she wants with the man she loves. The other side thinks the timing feels rushed, as if something is happening before the divorce is finalized. Claressa raised the stakes further when she openly said she wants 4 children with him. She didn't whisper it. She tweeted that she can't wait to get pregnant and predicted people would be crying and punching their steering wheels when it happens. That wasn't peaceful or subtle. It was competitive, meant to provoke a reaction. Once she hinted at pregnancy again, the rumors went nuclear. Suddenly, people began questioning everything. Is the baby even his? That theory spread fast after Remy casually said people would cry if they knew the truth. One sentence, and the internet exploded with speculation. Is she implying the timeline doesn't add up? That Papoose hasn't told Claressa everything? Or is there a deeper secret? When the woman who stood beside you for years stops arguing and starts laughing, the story becomes dangerous. The conversation has even shifted into a cultural debate about what real love looks like. But this situation is far from simple.
I talk to my man like a king. Don't ever get it messed up, baby. I may have the muscles and I may know how to fight, but I'm very submissive to my man because my man's a good man. And you know, he takes very good care of me.
So that line stands out because Remy was never seen as submissive, not to Papoose, at least. She carried equal power, matching his energy step by step with a ride-or-die presence. Now, questions arise. Is Papoose choosing something softer, or was Claressa positioning herself strategically? When a woman promises submission and babies simultaneously, it signals long-term planning. Claressa even said she wants to surprise him with a baby for his birthday. Remy, meanwhile, hinted people would cry if they knew the truth. One woman is building a future publicly, the other is hinting at hidden information. If Claressa announces a pregnancy this year as planned, the internet will immediately ask, was the divorce finalized? When did conception happen? Is the timeline clean? If any overlap exists, Remy's laugh becomes louder. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is the most dangerous. Consider this. If Claressa feels confident, why keep responding to strangers online? Why keep proving she knows how he likes his eggs? Why promise babies before paperwork is done? And if Remy doesn't care, why warn people they would cry if they knew the truth? That's not closure, it's a countdown.